Rusty Wallace scored 7 of his 9 victories here, driving for Roger Penske in the number 2. He also got 7
trouble
pole.
in the back, guys.
Brent Sherman has spun around.
And that caution is good news for Jimmie Johnson because he still was not going anywhere. He was about to go another lap down to Greg Biffle.
Yeah, and now he can start up on the inside, and he's going to be able to get some of those laps back.
And if there's a place you can get it back under green, it's a short track like this starting on that inside.
I believe Kevin LePage, 61, and Sherman got together. Here's a look.
And you know what caused that? The leader was coming. I got to go, dude. You're holding me up. I don't want to go a lap down.
The patience was running thin.
There's the yellow car coming off the corner right there now. That's Biffle, and the spotters are screaming at those guys back there. You gotta, don't let that guy hold you up. You gotta go. You're going to get lapped.
Now let's quickly review the free pass rule. The first driver a lap or more down in the race when the caution comes out is given a free pass to eliminate racing back to the yellow flag. Jimmie Johnson was the only car that was laps down, so he'll get one of his back.
Because I think the 9 car now has a problem. Something happened there. Maybe the 00 bottled him up. But the track has a lot of places in it that the concrete has got very, very thin.
Kyle Petty, turn 2.
Caution is out.
And not a moment too soon.
Boy, we needed that, I think, just to regroup here.
What you can do is right around the bottom, and then you're right in the groove.
Kyle Petty, a single car spin, somewhat of a rarity here at Bristol. And David Stremme will be recipient of the free pass.
And there's no question that all of our lead lap cars will be to pit road here at lap 73. 4 tires full of fuel and major adjustments.
We're under caution for the 3rd time at lap 109. Stanton Barrett in the hair of the dog Chevrolet got a boot from Clint Boyer and ended up in the turn 4 wall. There you see it.
Stanton kind of went up high going into 3, and I think Boyer thought he was giving him the bottom, and all of a sudden Stanton cut down just a tad, and Boyer had nowhere to go, but got into him, turned him. See it back there.
Kurt Busch will get the free pass. We'll get his lap back. He'll be back on the lead lap. And updating you from the last caution in which Denny Hamlin, who we're riding with now, and the number 4 of Scott Wimmer were gigged for being too fast on pit road, had to do a drive-through penalty. Sorensen wisely got off the gas.
Guys. Rear quarter panel.
And allowed Junior to get straightened up. But
you got to tell him when there's people wrecking in front of him.
But what happens here? One person's problem affects somebody 20 cars back. In this case, Scott Riggs.
Chain reaction. Junior got in trouble up here in the middle of 3 and 4, and it all started from there. It started there, ended down here with Scott Riggs in the wall. See Junior on the outside. He runs in the back of Kyle Busch. They got the 41 up the hill. Now here he comes trying to force his way through.
That was the start of it. Joe Nemechek also involved there in these accordion-like collisions. And then further back, drivers have to react to this, and here's what happens.
Well, we talked about it at the top of the show. You're running around here 15.5 seconds. You come off of turn 4, it's only 4.5 seconds till you get down to turn 1.
Look like Jeff Burton gets into the back of Scott Riggs right here and just spins it around.
Come on. Come on. Caution's out. Caution's out.
That'll be good news for Michael Waltrip throwing the 55 car. He'll be back on the lead lap with a free pass. A little damage on that Army car. Joe Nemechek, part of the chain reaction again.
Matt jumped to the outside, which I think probably surprised Jimmy in the 48. Caught him pretty hard lick when you see the car rock around like that.
We'll show you this again and then show you what brought out the caution flag.
Oh yeah, this is
pretty hard lick. You can see sparks flying.
Yes, sir.
That was on the backstretch. Then coming off turn 4, David Stremme. Oh, it's Stremme that gets into Marlin in the 14. Michael Waltrip's just trying to avoid it all.
Close. Whoa.
Right in front of you. Right in front of you.
Now let me get this straight. Is that 40 car Sterling Marlin, or is that?
Was last year.
It was last
year, yep. had a car that caught him that was faster. He just basically looked like he let him go by.
Black flag us here. We got a lot of smoke coming out of left.
Looks like the 55's got a problem here, guys.
Coming inside, you got about 6 more.
That smoke's coming out.
Uh-oh, 31 car around, and there's oil in the track.
They're all spinning.
There's oil on the track.
Down, buddy. Caution's out. Keep rolling. Keep rolling.
Jeff Burton and Brent Sherman are the 2 cars that go around. So Biffle was in front of the leader, gets a lap back that way as Burton and Jeff Green.
You know, I don't know if that didn't look like oil, really. I mean, that's just getting in under Jeff Green there, and he cut him off, and Jeff Burton spun his car out.
Let's ride with Jeff Burton through this.
Now you stay in the throttle to keep those rear wheels spinning so it won't run up there and back into the fair.
So he's going to lose 2 more positions.
And he can't squeeze in next to Carl Edwards.
God, we got him wrecking everywhere, guys.
Turn 4. Oh, and Michael Waltrip drives in long after it's over. Hard to see in these steep banks.
Well, when you're up there, you get that trash on your tires. You can't stop.
And Ryan Newman got together. Now there's Harvick on the bottom, coming up on Barrett. Got a little boot from Newman there.
I don't think Harvick was very happy with that, and I think he showed it right there off in turn 1 and 2.
Outside. You're clear. Settle down.
And then in turn 4. Dave Blaney around. And everything stacks up.
You see Michael Waltrip in the 55 car. Come in here, I think you're right. You could see the front tires sliding on the car.
You get up high, you get shoved up in all that debris, and it gets on your tires and won't stop.
There's that chain reaction, Darrell.
Now Michael's left front ends up flat, Darrell. It may have been flat when he got here. It may have already been flat.
See him up high. You see him up there, and the higher you get it, the more debris there is, and all of a sudden you get to that hole that's not there anymore.
And I'm sure you got to believe the spotter was telling him the track's blocked, basically.
Well, conventional wisdom would tell you that they're going to go down the track. With all the banking, you'd think they'd go down the track, but they were all wadded up there and they couldn't.
Just back to follow up on Mark Martin, and we've got a caution out for debris right now, but just real quickly to follow up on Mark Martin. You know, he's quietly sitting 4th in the points, but Bristol's not been that great to him the last 5 years. No top 10 finish here in the last 10 races, so he'd like to change that today.
A wad of tape. That may
or may not be the reason for the caution.
That's kind of a wad of tape off of somebody's car. Look like.
J.J. Yaley for Joe Gibbs Racing will get the free pass. And that will give us 29 cars on the lead lap. Second place, Stewart and Gordon. Caution on the speedway.
Caution's out.
Debris again. Lap 218. 9th caution flag of the day.
That's kind of a classic Mark Martin move. If you watch him year in, year out, racing.
Turn 2.
Brent Sherman, the
Brent
49.
Sherman off the bumper of Reed Sorensen.
Reed Sorensen in the 41 car just gets in the back of him. It doesn't take a whole lot here at this place as fast as you're trying to run around here.
When you're slow and the other guy behind you is fast, you just cannot get out of the way quick enough.
In front of you, slow it down, go low, come on. Caution's out. Good job, buddy, good job.
Now, I think this will be the caution that Ryan Newman was looking for because it's been 90 laps since most of our leaders have been on pit road. I think you're going to see all of them hit pit road, but Ryan Newman's actually going to come in as well. Looks like about everyone's going to make a pit stop.
You start off with a whole bucket full of patience, but by the end of the day, there's only a few
front
drops.
straightaway.
Holy cow.
Ryan Newman, Reed Sorensen, Casey Mears.
Looks like the real loser on this deal is going to be Jamie McMurray in that 26 car.
Boy, I'll say, look at that thing.
Common denominator, Brent Sherman.
Whoa. 41 car looks like he may have got into the back of the 12.
Then when he checked up, that's when McMurray in the 26 really got in the back of 41 hard, Reed Sorensen picked the rear wheels off the ground.
Sherman turned mirrors. More cars spin to the inside of the racetrack.
Hair of the dog, 95 car. He's been in a couple of these.
Bracket right in front of you off of turn 4, right on the front. Track is blocked. Get it slowed down. Clear on the bottom. Clear on the bottom. Watch this 49 behind you.
Your brother is not going to have any
Clear.
brakes left when the day's over. He's had to stop several times to avoid a wreck.
McMurray behind the wall.
And we had to bring everything inside the racetrack and put it in our pits. So a lot of times, and there was no tunnel to get out.
Turn 2, Darrell.
Whoops.
Elliott Sadler in the 38 car.
Whoops.
He goes around off the bumper of Jeff Green for our 12th caution of the day. Sorry, go ahead.
No, that's okay. But we used to have to bring everything in anticipation of what we might need. And if you didn't have it, you were out of the race. So now they got all this stuff in the infield. They can keep these cars running all day.
Tell you what, we're lucky there wasn't a lot of cars involved in that one.
Yeah, Jeff Green in the Best Buy car just barely slid by. See him right there on the outside.
See Jeff Burton in the 31, Robbie Gordon in the 7, and Ryan Newman in the 12 just had to stop right there to keep from getting into him. Wasn't sure which way he was going to go.
Not sure what caused the initial contact between Green and Sadler that sent Sadler around. You see the damage to the left rear. That is the result. Dave Blaney was the first car one lap down. He will get the free pass. Lap 338, Brent Sherman, and I did not see contact from another car that time.
Yeah, I think there was.
And here's what happens to put us under caution. Oh.
I told you, I thought there was no contact.
I should say.
Chain reaction behind him. Joe Nemechek in the 01 Army car getting turned around. And you know, you could blame that on Tony Stewart, but the problem is Brent Sherman probably about a second and a half a lap slower than Tony Stewart right there in the 20.
38 laps now.
Yeah. So,
I mean, that doesn't give you an excuse to wreck him.
No.
But it just shows you how far off he is.
Exactly.
20.
I think pit road will be a very busy place. We were seeing a lot of cars starting to go backwards right there.
Most of the leaders are in. Here's Matt Kenseth's crew at work. You're riding with Harvick, who led when we went to caution. Stewart beat him out off pit road.
I'd say the old rookie he's pretty well dialed in right now.
Oh, backstretch. Mayfield and Mears go around.
And around. And around. And Scott Riggs goes around.
We had just talked about it. That mess of an 07 car, he'll be back on the lead lap now. He gets the free pass, Clint Boyer.
Well, this was synchronized spinning. Somebody turned Jeremy Mayfield, and then another car was spun just behind him. Travis Quaffle appeared to get the worst of it. Now look way off to the right of your screen where the lights are on. And that's how this all gets started. Mayfield gets turned first by Jeff Green, and that puts Marlin into Mears.
I think Mayfield may have gotten loose off of 2.
He did, Darrell. Jeff Green didn't hit him, but Green's momentum carried him into Mayfield.
Right, that's kind of what it looked like.
Yes.
The good news for Mayfield, all he's going to need is 4 fresh tires here in the 19 car. And there he's getting them.
Oh, I didn't get the wreck over there, so I'll wreck right here. And look who he hit.
The free pass car, Clint Boyer, who was just coming around to come in his pit.
Looking pretty good up front. He's done a good job. We got trouble right now. Those 61 cars brought out a caution flag.
And remember that Kurt Busch had tire problems way back on lap 62. Lost a lap, obviously has worked his way back. Let's get back upstairs.
Kevin LePage may have cut a tire. His car drove up to the top of turn number 4 and came to nearly a halt there, bringing out this 15th caution flag of the day alongside Harvick,
who is 1 lap down.
Jeff just gets into him and turns him.
But the real losers are Yaley, Burton, Casey Kane, and Robbie Gordon.
Yeah, that happened up there with the 4th place car, and it was cars that were back there about 12th to 15th that was involved in this.
You get real impatient when it gets down to the end of the race, and you got to go. And it's not typical Jeff Gordon. I'm not sure if something happened to the one car to cause him to get into him or not, but that was not a very nice thing to do.
The free pass car would have been the number 4. It would have been the number 1. He was the first car 1 lap down, Martin Truex, but he was involved in the crash, so no free pass. Things stack up here in a hurry.
Get low, stay low, stay low, stay low. Keep coming, keep coming.
Hard hit. Hard hit.
Martin Truex not giving Jeff Gordon a lot of room this time.
But right now, Tony Stewart in the 20s boxed in behind this battle right now.
And around goes Truex hard.
Now he pays the price.
Yeah. That happens to rookies a lot.
Here's the replay of this most recent incident between Truex and Jeff Gordon. And Tony Stewart.
And what was going on between Truex and Jeff Gordon about 2 cautions ago, or a caution ago, Martin Truex Jr. in the 1 car 1 lap after a restart, Jeff Gordon got into the back of him and spun him out. That's the reason Martin Truex Jr. was out there, I think, doing this with Gordon.
So Truex is doing this with Gordon. It's holding up Tony Stewart and Bobby Labonte. And Truex is out of the race.
You know, it's one of the things that I think Tony said a couple of times is he has a real problem with some of these younger drivers, rookie drivers particularly, coming in and not really respecting the guys that have been here a while.
Well, here's the first incident. And at this point, Truex is a lap down. Gordon is a lead lap car.
And I'll be the first to admit that was uncalled for. And I can understand Martin being upset, but you don't take it out. You don't go back out on the racetrack and use your race car to get even with somebody.
I'll be the first to admit that was uncalled for. Not to what Tony Stewart did, but the situation with the one in the 24 there.
Because Truex had been roughing Gordon up as soon as Jeff got alongside him for 2 laps. And then Stewart took control of the situation and said, I'm not going to be a part of your guys' wreck. Off he went.
No, because while you're playing games, Matt Kenseth, Kurt Busch, Kevin Harvick, they're getting smaller and smaller up there. That was a hard hit.
It was.
I'm not sure they'll get that one fixed in 61 laps.
By all of the camera angles, you can probably tell this was not unexpected. Matt Kenseth is our leader with 60 laps to go. Working caution flag 17.
Pancake little Debbie.
Yes.
Wow.
Car got loose.
I think he had stuff on his tires or something because he just drove off in there and she wouldn't stick.
Big crash, turn 2.
Dave Blaney in the 22.
Crash.
One car is not a big crash here.
Caution's out now.
Neil Goldberg's on the big crash. Well, wait a minute, where is it?
Our producer, director, and our production team in the truck are so shell-shocked over the now 18 caution flags today that 4 people in the truck yelled, big crash, and it was a 1-car spin.
You remember what I said at the top of the show? We have to have patience in the booth, too.
Yeah.
And in the truck. Dave Blaney spins in turn 2. That puts us under caution.
The big crash, we just didn't know.
Yeah, let's see this big crash they've told us of.
It had the makings of.
It could have been big.
Could have been.
You know what, Darrell, almost looks like Blaney, like Schrader, maybe didn't have his tires cleaned off. He just got loose and spun on his own.
Oh, he hooked,
got
the car
hooked,
in front of
hooked
him,
on the right front.
Dale Jarrett up there, he got hooked on him. poor old Dale Jarrett, they have hit him so many times in the back end, his TV panel's gone and everything.